Imagine a luxury SUV that doesn't simply try to compete with the best electric vehicles on the road, but is designed from beginning to redefine what a premium electric SUV can be. A vehicle with an imposing presence, an incredibly refined cabin, advanced technology, generous space for the whole family, and a quiet performance that only a modern electric powertrain can deliver. This is where the Genesis GV90 enters the conversation. Today, we're taking a deep look at the Genesis GV90, one of the most anticipated luxury electric SUVs from Genesis. Positioned above the GV80, the GV90 is expected to become a flagship SUV for the brand, bringing together premium design, electric performance, advanced technology, and three-row practicality in one impressive package. Genesis has already established itself as a serious competitor in the luxury automotive world. Models such as the GV70, GV80, G80, and electrified GV70 have demonstrated that Genesis can combine elegant styling with premium materials, sophisticated technology, and strong road performance. But the GV90 represents something different. It is expected to push the brand into an even higher class of luxury. The first thing you notice about a vehicle like the GV90 is its size and presence. This is not intended to be a small urban SUV. It is designed to have the commanding road presence expected from a flagship luxury vehicle. The proportions are expected to be substantial, with a long body, wide stance, large wheels, and a confident silhouette. But Genesis has never been a brand that relies only on size to create luxury. The design philosophy is expected to remain elegant rather than unnecessarily aggressive. Instead of covering the SUV with excessive styling details, Genesis can use clean surfaces, carefully sculpted bodywork, and distinctive lighting to create a sophisticated appearance. At the front, the GV90 is expected to feature a modern interpretation of the Genesis signature grille and lighting design. Because this is an electric vehicle, there is no traditional combustion engine grille requirement, allowing the designers much more freedom with the front fascia. The lighting signature could become one of the most recognizable parts of the vehicle. Genesis has already developed a distinctive two-line lighting identity across its lineup, and the GV90 is expected to evolve that theme into something even more sophisticated. Imagine approaching the GV90 at night and seeing its slim LED lighting elements illuminate the front of the vehicle. The lighting could give the SUV a futuristic appearance while maintaining the elegance that Genesis is known for. Move around to the side, and the GV90's proportions become even more impressive. A long wheelbase is particularly important for a three-row luxury SUV because it creates additional space for passengers while also allowing designers to create a more balanced profile. Large wheels would further emphasize the premium character of the vehicle. Depending on the trim level and market, buyers could potentially have different wheel designs and sizes, allowing the GV90 to appear either elegant and understated or more sporty and dramatic. The roofline is another important part of the design. Genesis needs to balance aerodynamic efficiency with interior practicality. Since this is an electric vehicle, aerodynamic performance matters because reducing drag can help improve efficiency and driving range. At the same time, the GV90 is expected to prioritize passenger comfort. That means the designers need to make sure the third row receives sufficient headroom and legroom while maintaining enough cargo space behind the seats. This is where the GV90 becomes particularly interesting. A luxury electric SUV with 6 or 7 seats can serve multiple purposes. It can be a family vehicle during the week, a long-distance touring vehicle on the weekend, and a premium chauffeur-style vehicle when the second-row configuration is optimized for comfort. The interior is arguably where the GV90 could make its biggest impact. Genesis has increasingly focused on creating cabins that feel more like luxury lounges than conventional automobile interiors. The GV90 is expected to continue that philosophy with premium materials, carefully designed surfaces, advanced displays, and a strong focus on comfort. Open the door, and the first thing you expect from a flagship Genesis SUV is an atmosphere of calm. Instead of filling the cabin with unnecessary buttons and complicated shapes, the interior could focus on clean lines, soft-touch surfaces, high-quality leather or sustainable premium materials, elegant metal accents, and carefully integrated technology. The dashboard could feature a large digital display arrangement, giving the driver access to navigation, vehicle information, entertainment, and other functions. But a luxury vehicle isn't defined only by how much technology it has. It is defined by how naturally that technology works. The GV90 has the opportunity to create an experience where the driver can access important information without feeling overwhelmed. Voice controls, intelligent navigation, connected services, smartphone integration, and advanced driver assistance systems could all work together to make everyday driving easier. And then there is the seating. For a vehicle expected to offer 6 or 7 seats, seating flexibility will be extremely important. A 7-seat configuration can provide a traditional 3-row layout, making the GV90 practical for larger families. But a 6-seat configuration could transform the second row into a more luxurious environment, potentially featuring individual captain's chairs with additional space between passengers. For a flagship SUV, the second row experience could become one of the vehicle's biggest selling points. Imagine sitting in the second row on a long journey, with generous legroom, comfortable individual seats, climate controls, charging ports, premium audio, and potentially reclining functionality. Instead of feeling like you're sitting in the back of an ordinary SUV, the experience would feel much closer to a luxury lounge. The third row will also be important. Many large SUVs claim to offer 3-row seating, but the third row can sometimes feel like an afterthought. Genesis has an opportunity to make the GV90 different by designing the vehicle around 3-row usability from the beginning. For families, that could mean easier access to the third row, better seating comfort, additional storage areas, and convenient charging options. The cabin could also benefit from a panoramic glass roof. A large panoramic roof can make the interior feel considerably more spacious, especially in a vehicle with 3 rows of seats. During the day, natural light can enter the cabin, while at night passengers can enjoy a completely different atmosphere. Of course, luxury is not just about visual design. Sound insulation is one of the most important elements of a premium vehicle. Because an electric vehicle doesn't have the constant sound of a gasoline engine, other noises become more noticeable. Tire noise, wind noise, and road vibrations can become particularly important. Genesis can use extensive insulation, acoustic glass, carefully engineered suspension components, and advanced noise control technology to create a remarkably quiet cabin. This quiet environment could make the GV90 particularly impressive on long journeys. Now, let's talk about performance. The GV90 is expected to use an advanced electric platform and a large battery designed for the demands of a full-size premium SUV. The exact specifications can vary by market and configuration, but the key objective will be to combine strong performance with useful real-world range. Electric power provides an immediate response. There is no waiting for a traditional transmission to downshift. There is no turbocharger waiting to build boost. When the driver presses the accelerator, electric motors can deliver torque almost instantly. In a large luxury SUV, that instant response can make the vehicle feel surprisingly effortless. The GV90 doesn't need to feel like a sports car. Its mission is different. It needs to provide powerful acceleration when merging onto a highway, climbing a hill, overtaking another vehicle, or carrying a full load of passengers. All-wheel drive could also play an important role, particularly for buyers living in regions where rain, snow, or challenging road conditions are common. Multiple electric motors can provide the GV90 with strong traction, while also allowing sophisticated torque distribution between the front and rear wheels. This can improve stability and confidence while driving. But perhaps the most interesting aspect of the GV90 will be its ride quality. A flagship luxury SUV needs to be comfortable. That means Genesis could equip the vehicle with an advanced suspension system designed to absorb road imperfections while maintaining body control. The goal is not simply to make the suspension soft. The goal is to create a balance. On a smooth highway, the vehicle should feel stable and composed. On rough roads, the suspension should absorb bumps without allowing excessive movement inside the cabin. Advanced electronically controlled suspension technology could play a major role in achieving that balance. The GV90 could also use camera-based road scanning or other predictive systems to anticipate upcoming road conditions and adjust suspension behavior. Imagine driving toward a rough section of road. Instead of simply reacting after the wheel hits the bump, the vehicle could potentially recognize the road surface ahead and prepare the suspension. That kind of technology could turn an already comfortable SUV into an exceptionally refined one. Steering is another area where Genesis will need to find the right balance. The GV90 is a large vehicle, so it needs to feel manageable in tight spaces. Features such as rear-wheel steering could potentially make parking and low-speed maneuvering easier, while also improving stability at higher speeds. Parking technology could also become increasingly advanced. A vehicle of this size can be difficult to position in narrow parking spaces, but cameras, sensors, surround view systems, and automated parking assistance can significantly reduce the stress. For a premium flagship SUV, convenience should be part of the experience. Charging will obviously be another major consideration. An electric SUV of this size will require a substantial amount of energy, so fast charging capability is extremely important. With access to a high-powered DC fast charger, the GV90 could potentially recover a significant amount of range during a relatively short charging stop, depending on the final battery and charging specifications. That changes how you think about long-distance travel. Instead of spending hours at a charging station, drivers can plan shorter charging stops around meals, coffee breaks, shopping, or rest periods. Home charging would remain the most convenient solution for many owners. Imagine returning home after work, connecting the GV90 to a home charger, and waking up the next morning with a substantial amount of energy restored. For everyday driving, that could be far more convenient than visiting a fuel station. And because the GV90 is a luxury vehicle, Genesis can potentially make charging itself part of the premium experience. The infotainment system could display charging status, estimated range, charging locations, and route planning information. Navigation could also consider battery levels and charging stations when planning long-distance journeys. This is becoming increasingly important as electric vehicles move into larger and more premium segments. Another major area where the GV90 could stand out is technology. Modern luxury vehicles have become extremely advanced, and the GV90 is expected to be packed with digital features. A large center display could provide access to navigation, media, climate settings, vehicle controls, and connected services. A digital instrument display could provide the driver with essential information while minimizing distractions. There could also be advanced head-up display technology that projects important information into the driver's field of vision. Instead of constantly looking down at the center screen, the driver could see navigation instructions and other information directly ahead. The audio system is another important part of the luxury experience. A flagship Genesis could offer a premium surround sound system designed to turn the cabin into a mobile concert hall. With multiple speakers positioned throughout the interior, passengers could experience high-quality audio regardless of where they are sitting. This becomes even more impressive when combined with the quietness of an electric vehicle. Imagine traveling on the highway with almost no powertrain noise, while a high-end audio system fills the cabin with music. That is exactly the type of experience luxury EVs are trying to create. Safety will also be central to the GV90's appeal. A large family SUV needs to protect passengers in a wide variety of situations, and modern vehicles now rely on a combination of traditional passive safety and sophisticated electronic assistance. The GV90 could feature advanced automatic emergency braking, lane-keeping assistance, adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, rear cross-traffic assistance, driver monitoring, collision warnings, and other systems depending on the final specification. The important thing is that these technologies should support the driver rather than make the driving experience complicated. A premium vehicle should feel intelligent without becoming frustrating. For highway driving, advanced adaptive cruise control could maintain distance from traffic while helping reduce driver fatigue. Lane centering technology could assist with keeping the SUV positioned correctly. And when the driver needs to change lanes, blind spot monitoring could provide additional information about vehicles approaching from behind. For family buyers, these features can provide extra peace of mind. The GV90 could also be equipped with multiple cameras and sensors to create a detailed picture of the vehicle's surroundings. This is particularly useful when parking a large SUV. A 360-degree camera view can make it much easier to position the vehicle accurately and avoid obstacles. But let's move back to the exterior because Genesis has another opportunity here. The GV90 needs to look expensive. That sounds obvious, but it is actually one of the most difficult things for an automotive designer to achieve. Luxury design is about proportion, detail, and restraint. If you add too many aggressive elements, the vehicle can look busy. If you remove too much detail, it can look plain. Genesis has developed a design language that attempts to find a middle ground. The GV90 can use its large dimensions to create a strong presence while maintaining clean surfaces. The front lighting, side profile, wheel design, and rear lighting can all work together to create a recognizable identity. At the rear, the design could continue the slim lighting theme. A wide rear light signature can visually emphasize the width of the vehicle, while a clean tailgate design can make the SUV appear sophisticated. The rear bumper can remain relatively clean, with the electric nature of the vehicle allowing designers to avoid traditional exhaust outlets. This gives the GV90 an unmistakably modern identity. The cargo area is another important consideration. With all 3 rows occupied, cargo space can naturally become limited in a 3-row SUV. But when the 3rd row is folded, the GV90 should offer significantly more room for luggage, shopping, sports equipment, travel bags, and other everyday items. For families, the ability to quickly transform the cabin from passenger mode to cargo mode is extremely useful. Power-operated seats could make this process easier. A wide rear opening and a low-loading floor would also make it easier to load heavy items. There could also be additional storage under the floor or other compartments designed to keep charging equipment and smaller items organized. And because this is an electric vehicle, the GV90 could potentially offer additional front storage, depending on its final engineering configuration. This type of extra storage can be surprisingly useful. Now, let's talk about everyday ownership. A flagship luxury SUV isn't only judged by acceleration figures or battery capacity. It needs to be comfortable every single day. You should be able to drive it to work without thinking about the technology. You should be able to take the family shopping. You should be able to drive hundreds of miles on a road trip. You should be able to pick up passengers from the airport. You should be able to sit in the 2nd row and simply relax. That is where the GV90 has a potential to become something more than just another electric SUV. It could become Genesis's statement vehicle, a vehicle that tells the world where the brand wants to go. The competition in this segment is intense. Luxury buyers have an enormous number of choices, including electric SUVs from Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, Volvo, Range Rover, Cadillac, Lucid, and other premium manufacturers. So Genesis cannot simply make a large electric SUV. It needs to give customers a reason to choose it. The GV90's combination of design, technology, interior space, comfort, electric performance, and potentially strong value could become its biggest advantage. Genesis has already developed a reputation for offering a high level of equipment and luxury without always demanding the same price as some of the most established European competitors. If the GV90 continues that strategy, it could become a very interesting alternative for buyers who want something different. There's also the question of brand identity. Genesis is still relatively young compared with some traditional luxury brands. That can actually be an advantage. Because Genesis doesn't have to preserve decades of combustion engine tradition, it can build its flagship electric SUV around a modern luxury philosophy. The GV90 doesn't need to imitate an old-fashioned luxury vehicle. It can create its own definition of luxury: quietness, space, technology, comfort, elegant design, and effortless performance. Imagine sitting inside the GV90 at night. The exterior lights are glowing outside. The cabin lighting is subtle. The dashboard displays are illuminated. The electric powertrain is completely silent. You select drive, press the accelerator, and the vehicle moves forward with almost no drama. That effortless experience is one of the strongest arguments for luxury electric vehicles. They don't need to shout to feel powerful. They can simply move. For the driver, the GV90 could offer a combination of effortless acceleration and smooth control. For passengers, it could provide a comfortable and quiet environment. For families, the 3-row configuration could provide the practicality they need. For technology enthusiasts, the digital systems can make the vehicle feel like a next-generation device on wheels. And for luxury buyers, the materials, design, and attention to detail could make the GV90 feel genuinely special. One of the biggest questions surrounding any new flagship electric SUV is range. A large battery can provide impressive range, but it also adds weight. Genesis therefore needs to find the right balance between battery size, vehicle weight, performance, efficiency, and charging speed. Aerodynamic design can help. Regenerative braking can help. Efficient electric motors can help. Smart thermal management can help. And intelligent software can help the vehicle make the most of every kilowatt hour. The GV90's energy management system could constantly monitor conditions and adjust various systems to maximize efficiency. Temperature is also important. Battery performance can vary depending on weather conditions, so advanced thermal management will be critical for maintaining consistent performance and charging capability. This is particularly relevant for global markets where drivers experience very different climates. Another interesting possibility is vehicle-to-load functionality. If supported, the GV90 could potentially provide electrical power to external devices, making the vehicle useful beyond transportation. Imagine camping with a family and using the vehicle to power lights, appliances, or other equipment. Or imagine using the SUV during an outdoor event. The large battery becomes more than just a source of propulsion. It becomes an energy source. This broader concept of electric vehicles is becoming increasingly important. The GV90 can potentially represent not just a luxury SUV, but a mobile technology platform. And that brings us to software. Modern cars are increasingly defined by software updates, connected services, and digital ecosystems. Genesis could use software updates to improve features over time, introduce new functionality, and enhance the ownership experience. That means the vehicle you buy today could potentially become more capable in the future. Of course, the exact capabilities and availability of these features will depend on market, trim level, regulations, and final production specifications. But the direction is clear. Luxury vehicles are becoming smarter, and the GV90 is expected to sit near the top of Genesis's technology hierarchy. Another thing that could make the GV90 attractive is its ability to combine luxury with practicality. Some high-end vehicles sacrifice practicality for design. Others focus so heavily on utility that they lose the feeling of exclusivity. A three-row flagship SUV needs to find a balance between both. The GV90 can look premium from the outside while still offering enough interior space for real families. It can provide high-end materials without making the cabin feel fragile. It can deliver strong acceleration without sacrificing comfort. And it can provide advanced technology without turning the interior into a complicated computer interface. That balance is difficult, but it is exactly what a flagship vehicle should accomplish. For buyers considering a 6-seat configuration, the second row could be especially attractive. Individual captain's chairs can provide more personal space and make entering the third row easier. They can also create a more luxurious atmosphere. For business owners, executives, or families who frequently travel long distances, this configuration could make a significant difference. Meanwhile, buyers who prioritize maximum passenger capacity may prefer 7 seats. That flexibility makes the GV90 more versatile. You could have 6 seats for everyday luxury and 7 seats when you need to carry more people. The vehicle can adapt to your lifestyle, and that's an important part of modern luxury. True luxury isn't simply about expensive materials. It's about convenience. It's about having the right technology when you need it. It's about having enough space. It's about reducing stress. It's about making long journeys easier. It's about arriving at your destination, feeling relaxed rather than exhausted. The GV90 has the potential to deliver exactly that. When you look at Genesis as a brand, the GV90 also makes sense as the next step. The GV80 established Genesis in the premium SUV market. The electrified GV70 showed that the brand could translate its design philosophy into an electric format. The GV90 takes the concept further by combining flagship luxury with a larger 3-row electric SUV. It could become one of the most important models in the entire Genesis lineup. And if Genesis gets the details right, the GV90 could be more than a competitor. It could become a benchmark for what customers expect from a brand. There will always be questions about pricing, final range, exact performance specifications, charging capabilities, available configurations, and market availability. Those details are extremely important because the GV90 will enter a highly competitive segment. But numbers alone won't determine its success. The overall experience will. A luxury SUV has to make you feel something when you approach it. It has to make you want to open the door. It has to make you enjoy sitting inside. It has to make driving feel effortless. And it has to make passengers want to stay in the vehicle longer. That emotional side of luxury is something Genesis understands very well. The GV90 could therefore represent the company's most ambitious attempt yet to create an electric vehicle that feels truly premium from every angle. From its imposing exterior proportions to its elegant lighting, from its spacious three-row cabin to its high-quality materials, from its advanced electric powertrain to its sophisticated suspension, from its fast charging potential to its connected technology. Every part of the vehicle has to work together, and that's what makes the GV90 so interesting. It isn't simply about replacing a gasoline engine with electric motors. It is about designing an entirely different kind of luxury SUV. One where silence becomes a feature, where technology becomes invisible, where power becomes effortless, where the cabin becomes a lounge, and where the vehicle can adapt to both family life and premium travel. If Genesis can deliver on that promise, the GV90 could become one of the most compelling luxury electric SUVs of its generation. It could appeal to buyers who want something larger than the GV80. It could attract families looking for a premium electric three-row SUV. It could appeal to luxury customers who want a quieter and more technologically advanced driving experience. And it could attract people who simply want something different from the traditional German luxury choices. The most exciting part is that the GV90 represents a new chapter for Genesis. This is a brand that has spent years building credibility in the luxury market. Now it has an opportunity to demonstrate what that luxury philosophy looks like when electricity becomes a foundation. The result could be a vehicle that feels sophisticated without being excessive, powerful without being aggressive, futuristic without being strange, and practical without losing its premium character. The Genesis GV90 is expected to be a major step forward for the brand, and if Genesis manages to combine its elegant design language with impressive electric performance, advanced technology, genuine three-row usability, and a first-class interior, this could become one of the standout luxury electric SUVs to watch. So, if you're looking for a flagship electric SUV that brings together 6 or 7-seat practicality, premium comfort, modern technology, sophisticated design, and effortless electric performance, the Genesis GV90 is definitely a vehicle worth keeping on your radar. This could be more than just another new electric SUV. It could be Genesis showing the world exactly what its future looks like. And if that future arrives with a level of refinement, technology, and luxury we expect from a flagship Genesis, the GV90 could be one of the most fascinating electric SUVs of the next generation. What do you think about the Genesis GV90? Would you choose a 6-seat luxury configuration with premium second-row captain's chairs? Or would you prefer the 7-seat layout for maximum practicality? And if Genesis gets the pricing and range right, could the GV90 become a serious alternative to the established luxury electric SUVs from Europe and America? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep look at the Genesis GV90, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and stay with us for more upcoming cars, new electric vehicles, luxury SUVs, performance cars, and the latest automotive technology. The future of luxury is becoming electric, and the Genesis GV90 could be one of the vehicles leading that transformation.